no intro because the last time I tried to do this, I accidentally screwed up and stopped the recording. Anyways, last time, this little series, Rainbow Dash was on a train to Manhattan to deal with the freaking Four Tails Son Goku. Basically, Four Tails all the way up to basically Four Tails and Five Tails. Basically, that happened. Six Tails Saiken didn't really put up much of a fight because, well, Six Tails is actually very peaceful. And, well, Six Tails actually restrained Chome, the Seven Tails, which was actually in Cloudsdale. And if you guys want to know where Saiken was, in some sort of underwater chasm in between Manhattan and Philadelphia. Basically in the middle of the sea. And, well, after the whole deal with the Seven Tails, the Eight Tails, basically over where Rainbow's friend Gilda, old friend Gilda, the Griffin, basically Eight Tails killed Gilda, which is kind of a thing that Rainbow found out, just drifting. Basically ended up figuring out about that the hard way. And, well, as you can imagine, she did not give any mercy to the Eight Tails whatsoever. Even pulling the first Heaven Conceal on its ass. And even in Amaterasu. Yeah, brutal as hell. And no better for the Nine Tails. Because 3 of its tails got to Heaven Conceal. The other 3 out of the 9 got freaking Amaterasu'd. And the last 3, along with its head, got stuck in a Ninja Art Great God Gate. Yes, that's right. The 3 other ones, along with its head, got stuck in the Great God Gate. And, well, as you could probably tell, not just half of it, but the entire damn thing got sealed within a fine China style type flower vase looking thing. Due to the, courtesy of the fact that Rainbow poured a little bit of Chackra in there previously, like before actually ending up around with the Nine Tails. Actually, the brutality of the whole thing with the Nine Tails is actually due to the fact that it was currently attacking, Ponyville. Yes, there was actually a freaking message that got bonked on Rainbow's head after taking a little bit of a power nap in her house. Yeah. Pretty much a distress call, like, please help us, God help us. There's like a giant freaking orange fox, and it's murdering everything in its way. Please help. Signed, the citizens of Ponyville. So yeah, that's basically why that happened to Kurama. The second Heaven Conceal, the Amaterasu, and the Great God Gate. The Arsenal's Ninja Great God Gate. And yeah, basically, now all 9 are sealed. And if you guys are wondering why I'm just rushing through this, it's because I'm pissed. I was doing, like, story after story, like getting through all the way to the Nine Tails, and what exactly Rainbow Dash was gonna do. And I accidentally duped myself. Yeah. So if you can imagine, probably I'm very pissed. I take my stuff that I do very seriously. And, you know, basically, there is another meeting held, like the first meeting, Rainbow Dash, and, the first 4 Fire Shadows, and Madara, and, well, the 4 Alicorn Princesses. Basically, all of them, plus, like, all of the different, people and everybody else that were at the gala. Because they want to make this kind of like a thing that like every pony knows about. Because like what they're about to do is going to be freaking important as hell. Because, kind of like due to the different recent events, Celestia isn't stupid. She knows that due to recent events, things are going to have to change sooner or later. And Luna isn't stupid either. She knows that this is true. That due to these recent changing events, there's going to have to be some sort of change in the way they live their lives. Due to this, uncanny, as Thomas Jefferson would say, when in the course of human events. Yeah, basically everyone's there, like every pony, every griffin, hippogriff, dragon, changeling, like all them people are there, like everybody's there, etc., etc. Everybody be there. And there are actually like several different announcements that need to be made as well. Concerning if you were to just leave the Bijou there on like a shelf, like eventually someone's gonna knock over the shelf and break the containers. And that wouldn't be good. So we gotta figure out what the hell to do with them. And well, kind of the first big old thing that actually hits to home being Jinchuriki. That new Jinchuriki. Like turning whoever out of whatever species wanted to, into Jinchuriki. Like, not gonna force them to do it, but, whoever was actually up for it would indeed become Jinchuriki. And of what tailed beasts? Well, there would be certain requirements to help figure out what exactly to do whenever it came to that. Well, just go in the order of tail count. So, put Shikaku and, all the different things about Shikaku, explain all that shit. And, whoever would raise their hand, they would have to, pick out. Or, it was only one pony or whatever that raised their hand. They would be the one. But if multiple ponies or whatever raised their hand, you would kind of have to do, a test or something. To figure out who would be the best, container for Shikaku. And whenever explaining all of the different complications, whenever it came to being the Jinchuriki of the One-Tail Shikaku, sand spirit, like Tanuki sand spirit. Basically, you know a certain Peppy Party pony is going to be all over that. Because, well, Shikaku's cray cray, Pinky's cray cray. Go figure. I mean, come on, guys. Like, Pinky's cray cray, Shikaku's cray cray. Perfect mix. And, it would kind of, just be a thing. Like, there have been certain times where the elements just weren't enough, so if there were certain members of the Elements of Harmony that had Biju in them and were able to use those powers of the Biju, that could indeed be good extra help. And, well, basically whenever the Two Tails was brought up, the Two Tails not a top, like the two-tailed cat not a tabby, all that was brought up. It just ended up coming down to one, and, well, surprising actually a good amount of people, like ponies, whatever. It was actually someone you wouldn't think would be willing to do this at all, like for any of these Biju. Rarity. Like, Rarity was like, well, if it must be done, like, if it must be done, I'll do it. I kind of just like the idea of Naratabi and Rarity just, like, having to, like, share space. I just kind of like the idea. I just think it would be cool. And, well, eventually, it's just like, there's Jeffrey Hooves and her husband, Dr. Hooves. And Dr. Hooves actually was beginning to realize something, in the midst of this big ol', ass conversation about, like, the fate of the world and, depending on certain, decisions made. He's kind of starting to realize he gets lost in, like, space-time vortexes and all that shit a lot. And, just leaving his wife to be stuck with, like, the hard shit. He's kind of leaving her with the responsibilities and everything. Nobody really helped her except for the friends she already had before they got married. And he's just like, maybe, just maybe these Biju could help him. Not make it so easy to get sucked into a space-time vortex. And, well, whenever it finally comes to the third Biju, like, who would be responsible for the Biju? Dr. Hooves would basically be like, kind of have this problem where I get sucked into space-time vortexes and kind of leave my wife out to dry. So if anybody at least take one of these Biju, I think right now, as I've just now been realizing this, yeah, I'll take the Three Tails, thank you. And so, yeah, the Three Tails kind of, that happens. Dr. Hooves kind of takes the Three Tails, gets that. And, well, it's kind of a thing. It comes down to where, there's a certain family, Applejack, Granny Smith, Big Macintosh, Apple Bloom, and well, Big Mac is indeed in love with Cheerilee, and Cheerilee is in love with Big Mac. Yes, I'm pulling a Bride of Discord. Don't at me. Basically, Cheerilee kind of realizes the whole situation with that family. And kind of realizes, yeah, they're already in bad straits enough. I mean, come on. There's even people like Filthy Rich that are constantly trying to, screw over their family. And so if they had, someone who could help them, I mean, plus, Shirley is very, I guess you could say that could be an exciting way of, teaching, fillies and foals about the ways of the world, especially seeing as things are going to be changing. It's not just for the aspect of helping, Big Mac's family, but also possibly for a good, aspect of teaching. And, this couldn't be the worst thing that ever happened to her. So, Cheerilee. So, yeah. Cheerilee decides she will take the freaking she will take the Four Tails just to, as a way to, help aid those, and help, just a way to help. And Applejack would actually be like, Cheerilee, you kinda stole my chance there, then. And Cheerilee would just be like, what do you mean? I was going to pick the Five Tails. And, just hearing that, if no one else had actually, or if she was just left as the last one, that she would have picked the Five Tails. Cool. And I was really not saying that she can't, but just knowing that Shirley would go so far, I mean, that's a pretty nice thing to know. I mean, come on. It's pretty nice to know. And Applejack is more or less just doing this just to help, She wants to be able to help. And so she thinks that if she has the extra power of Five Tails, plus, the Four Tails has lava release, and lava release would not really be good for, the plantage, the greens. It would not be too good for that. Not even the wood would not be good for that either. At least with boil release, I mean, boil release is part water, and water does help the greens. So at least if, Applejack tried to be selective with what type of boil release jutsu, it could be helped, not being as dangerous. I mean, you gotta admit, Kokoro probably wouldn't be as dangerous as Son Goku, in terms of Sweet Apple Acres. You know, making sure it didn't get destroyed. And so it is made final. Both are actually made final. Cheerilee gets Son Goku, the Four Tails, and Applejack actually gets the Five Tails, Kokoro. Oh shit. My dumbass. I completely screwed myself over. Cheerilee didn't get the seven. Cheerilee didn't get the freaking. The frick? Oh my god. I screwed myself over. Frick. My god. I am so stupid sometimes. I wrote Cheerilee twice. Once for the Four Tails and once for the Seven Tails. Now I gotta figure out what the hell to do. Well, this is going to be interesting. Screw me. But Jesus. Well, it would be help regardless. I mean, whichever she chose. Like, the Seven Tails would be good help. I can tell you that. I mean, Chome is actually pretty cool. She's would still be good help. I mean, and with Chome, she'd have the ability to freaking fly. So yeah, I think I'm gonna revoke that decision. But who to give the Four Tails to? Then, son of a. Mm, um, oh, shit. Excuse me. Oh my god, help me. If this is not an actual name of an actual pony. Anyways, well, I do indeed think that because, ponies are, supposed to be friendship and all that shit, that a certain pony would he still want to, you know, I mean, they're friends, so why not? Plus, I mean, with the freaking lava release or magma release or whatever the hell it is that Son Goku gives them, it would have a poppin' mixtape. Freaking, what do they call it? Fire mixtape. I believe the name of the pony is Vinyl Scratch. If it's not Vinyl Scratch, then so God help me. Someone tell me in the comments so I can somehow find a way to rectify this. Yeah, so please God help me have it be Vinyl Scratch. Vinyl Scratch, please God help me, let it be Vinyl Scratch. Would get the 4 tails. And you guys already know from my stupid mistake who gets the 7 tails. And you guys already know that because of what was said, basically, Applejack would still reveal that she wanted the 5 tails, Coco. And, it really wouldn't be as bad for Sweet Apple Acres if it was Coco, because it's fire and water, not whatever the hell, some Goku's release is. And so, yeah, I don't think Steam is nearly as bad as whatever the shit Coco does. So, yeah. I think that'll be perfectly fine. And the person to get the 6 tails, Saiken, I mean, this pretty much Saiken is like the most peaceful of the Biju, and Fluttershy can talk to all animals and shit. She can communicate with. Basically, Fluttershy is freaking adorable, and she is literally the element of kindness. So why not? I mean, Rainbow Dash is thinking that. Fluttershy is thinking that. And even Saiken, whenever it's in its contained thing, is thinking that too. So yeah. Fluttershy gets Saiken. And because it was already said, you guys already know 7-Tail goes to Cheerilee. Or Cheerilee. I believe it's pronounced Cheerilee. Yeah, it gets 7-Tail, Cheerilee. Yes, yeah. 7-Tail, which is Chome, goes to Cheerilee. And the 8-Tail goes to someone who Twilight has actually been, having a sort of relationship with. You could easily say, ship Twi with Flash Sentry. It's Flash Sentry. And speaking of Flash Sentry is really talking with Twilight, off to the side, whispering, back and forth with Twilight, all throughout this entire thing. He's kind of in the back, behind everyone who's sitting. Yeah. He's basically somewhere around there to where Twilight can still hear him. Basically, they have kind of been, communicating in a way. And, also about the whole thing about the fact that they've actually been, dating for quite some time. Despite the fact that Shiny Armor doesn't exactly seem to approve of it. They're still dating. Twi and, Flash Sentry. basically, they decide that seeing as they're both kind of dating, and, well, Rainbow does indeed seem to be on the fence with her opinion on Flash Sentry already. You know, why not have him have the 8 tails and her have the 9 tails? Like, freaking Twilight volunteered to get the most powerful Biju. I mean, she is an Alicorn princess, why the hell not? And that is exactly what happens. In that order. And, Rainbow Dash is indeed thinking this, like, she is indeed an Alicorn princess, like, and, seeing as that is the case, that kind of would make it a lot easier for her to deal with Kurama's bullshit. So, yeah, I guess. And Shining Armor is just in disbelief as to why Flash Sentry, I mean, dude's already dating his freaking sister. And he didn't even approve of it. And now he has the freaking 8 tails. Or is going to get the 8 tails. And his sister's going to get the 9 tails. Like, dear Jesus, this day could not get any worse for Shiny Armor. Yeah. And now on to the sealing process. And basically everything that happens afterwards. Peggy Pie and Shukaku actually get along rather well. I mean, I would think so. Like, Nanatabi, Tails, Cat Nanatabi, and Rarity, well, it's kind of like a you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you type relationship. Like, Rarity doesn't really seem to know what Nanatabi's deal is. Like, I mean, come on, why are you being so damn pouty? It's like super angst over here. Up in his house. And Dr. Hooves with 3 tails, like, Isobu does indeed say that, well, Dr. Hooves, being a doctor, actually, he does indeed seem to be one of the more smart ones. Because, like, along with the genjutsu and stuff, this is indeed more of a probability the stronger a bond they get. That, will keep him from falling into any sort of space-time vortex. And, well, freaking Vinyl Scratch. Well, her and Son Goku kind of have this weird relationship where, like, to the point of view of an outsider, you don't really know what the hell's going on inside their heads. They're like the only 2 people that freaking know. And they're perfectly okay with that. They're just, they're living the premium life, just, doing their own thing. Not really much else needs to be said. And Applejack with the 5 tails, well, Kokuo really just seems to be chilling. Not really giving a shit. And Applejack, well, she feels that that's really counterproductive. She also kind of gets this feeling that she ain't gonna really be able to do anything about it anytime soon. like this feeling like, it's counterproductive, but you can't really do anything about it. Or at least Applejack feels it's counterproductive. Kokuo is just, is the ultimate middle finger to the, a friend of the person who ended up sealing it inside them. the ultimate middle finger just being like what this pony deems counterproductive. Just being that way because, ultimate middle finger. Gotta find some way in order to voice your disgust, I guess. And Fluttershy was Psychen. Psychen is chill, Fluttershy. The fact that Psychen is so damn chill helps Fluttershy be more chill. Not much, but does indeed help a little at least. They have to get a little bit more of a bond before, can really start to help, but just for now, it helps enough. So that she's not squeeing in every which direction she looks. And Shirley with the seven tail, Chome. Shirley, Chome. Chome is kind of having its own thing, its own deal. Not really bothering Shirley as long as Shirley doesn't bother it. But it's more of a chill version of kind of what Rarity's going through with Natadabi. It's like that, but a little bit more chill version of that. And Flash Sentry's whole deal with Gyuki, well, Flash Sentry just seems to get really confused by Yuki's very existence. Like, Yuki is very weird, and Flash Sentry doesn't understand, but he's going with it anyways because, hey, you're jerky. Deal with it. And Twilight having to deal with Kurama's BS. Both sides, seeing as they, joined again. So Kurama isn't too angry, but isn't too chill either. It's kind of a happy medium. And considering that Twilight is indeed the princess of friendship, it's good enough for her. Kind of like this happy balance. Not too chill, but not too angry either. Reminds me of the whole Mr. Potato Head, angry eyes thing, where he just puts the shoes on his eyes, boop. They call me Angry Eyes. That also reminds me of in The Lion King, whenever Pumbaa's like, they call me Mr. Pig. Ah! It's that's freaking amazing. Hilarious, too. Just Jesus. Hold on a second, guys. So yeah, everyone's pretty much in their own way about all this. And what did I exactly mean when I said things were going to change? Well, it just so happens that those changes are going to come about over time. One of the first changes being, well, the fact that there will actually be, different kinds of creatures which will actually want their hands in some chakra. Like, there shouldn't only be one person that has that power. I mean, they understand why Rainbow, has it to herself, because, never really knowing who she can, trust with such a power to not use it for, you know, evil means, more or less. And, well, it does indeed seem like Rainbow, the first, people that she would ever, give chakra to, will indeed be the other elements of harmony. Because, if Celestia and Luna can already themselves lift up the freaking sun and moon, I mean, do they really need chakra? And on the question of, what the frick was, like, Starlight Shimmer or Spike having chakra? Well, of course, I mean, they live in the freaking same place as one of the ponies that she would have given chakra. I mean, why the hell not? Plus, Starlight. No, Cadence is the other one. She would also give Cadence chakra. I mean, Cadence isn't like Celestia Luna level. She is herself level, which is less than Celestia Luna level. So, she would at least give Cadence chakra as well. And on the fence of Shining Armor, yeah, no, because kind of afraid of what he would try to do if he was allowed chakra, due to Flash Sentry. And on the subject of everyone who's already has a Bijou, they already have chakra because of the Bijou. The Bijou kind of just existing there. Their bodies kind of have to naturally produce chakra in order to stay afloat with the chakra naturally produced from the Bijou. So it kind of just naturally comes there. It is just naturally produced, like the chakra of the Bijou being there kind of forces the body to change in a way that would create chakra for them. And Rainbow kind of was informed about this by a certain someone, about this being a possible thing to happen should she, basically, she was indeed informed about this. And, well, knowing the risks, still did it. Because, she had, confidence and faith within those that she allowed, this whole Bijou thing to happen. And, well, indeed, with Miss Cheerly having the freaking, if I remember correctly, the freaking Four Tails Son Goku. I mean, it's like the one school in Ponyville for all the child ponies. Like fillies and colts. All of them. It's like the one major school, so I mean, the other stuff that they're going to learn is still going to be there. Do you really think the Ninja Academy doesn't teach like other stuff besides just the ninja fundamentals? I mean, I'm sure history, science, language arts, and math are also a part of like the Ninja Academy of that world. I mean, like, otherwise everybody would just be stupid. So I'm sure that the only real change is that it would be more like the Ninja Academy of the Naruto world. It would have the other stuff, yes, it would still have the other stuff, but there would be an added, lessons about other things. So that, basically like a sort of evolutionary cycle, an evolving society. And in order for that society to evolve and grow, changes need to be made. And whether those changes are small or big or in between, no one freaking knows till they happen. You can try to prepare as much as you want, but no one knows until they start cropping up. Popping up. It's kind of like a society thing, which is like a thing about, natural society. And like the evolution of said natural society. As things go on, what did you think the world of Naruto was like before Kaguya gave everybody chakra? I mean, like, it's the natural evolution. And as the world of Naruto went on, after Naruto became the Kage, more and more, as time went by, the technology of that world grew. So, whatever will end up growing as certain actions happen, as certain things just continue to go on and on, certain, actions will take place and certain, developments will take place. That's kind of a thing that Shirley and basically everyone else under the frickin' sun and moon that, Celestia and Luna have control over, that's pretty much everyone ended up basically, like, getting that in their heads, that this was going to be the natural progression from now on. They couldn't just turn a blind eye. That this was the way things were going, and that was just the case. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is life now for them. So yeah, that's just kind of how things have been. So yeah. We leave this off with the note of an expanding world, an ever-changing world of ponies just now figuring out how to master the art of chakra and even other special things unique to the shinobi world that are now being, more spread across into this one. Don't think it's just going to stay chakra, because there are other ways to make use of said abilities. And there are other sort of things, as things continue to evolve, more things will have been found out about, and more, of the motions will just, be gone through. And pretty soon, it will evolve to the point to where things will be seen very familiar to the eyes of the Shodime, Nidime, Sandame, and even Yandaime. Also, well, Madara. You know, the four Hokages, Fire Shadows, and even Madara himself. Things that they will be able to notice that are very familiar. Pretty soon, this world will have evolved so much that there will be things that the four Fire Shadows, and even Madara himself, will see that will seem very, very, very familiar. And I think you guys, just, knowing me, might know why. And that's right. We're kicking it into gear. Let this new world of Pony meets Shinobi begin. Now.